My name is Calderon. I'm content creator from Upptik, and I'm here with Alan, who I will interviewing today. He has a bachelor degree in communication and minor in sociology, and right now you are studying counseling. Oh wow, that's great. You want to say something more about you?
Yeah, I guess, is this like before the questions or just over?
Yeah, no, it's before.
Before the question? Yeah, hi, my name is Alan Abutin. I am a foster youth. I grew up in the system, been through group homes, was adopted, found my way here at Central, was able to have the beautiful privilege of crafting like a foster care policy multiple times and presenting it to the White House, to Congress, for the First Lady, and that was like really cool. And now, like, I've just always had a passion for how behaviors or how trauma shapes our behaviors, specifically in the foster youth that I also work with, my lovely student Angel here, and just want to figure out ways that I can help them to be their most successful versions of themselves. So, yeah.
So, I will ask you a few questions, okay? Cool. What motivated you to pursue a degree in communications and a minor in social justice?
Okay, so this one's going to be a little bit funny.
Okay.
So what led me to communications was I originally came into Central trying to do PE, physical ed. I did not know that you had to have a lot of science for physical education.
Okay.
I thought we were just going to be playing kickball all day. And my mom was getting on my tail because I was on academic probation for the first semester.
Okay.
Second semester. She's like, I'm pulling you out of school unless you find a major. So I just found communications.
Okay.
So I did communications mainly because of my mom, but as I progressed, I did enjoy the strategic communication field.
Okay.
But really, I did it for my minor, which was social justice, as I do care a lot about, those issues and serving the community, and that has always been something that's been on my heart. So to be able to have communications, which is strategies to engage people with my care for like social justice, I now find myself in a role where I'm doing both, right?
Okay, yeah, that's great. And, well, that's a great history. I'm kind of the same with my sociologists and psychologists. I totally understand you. And what led you to continue study for counseling?
So, yeah, counseling. As this is also another beautiful story as well. Chris, who is my boss, the director, our mentor, he actually found me second semester, freshman year. I was about to drop out, and my sophomore year got really hard. So my mother, I had not met yet, my biological mother, but I had gotten this like random note out of nowhere from her. I don't know where, right? And she was gonna die actually. So I flew out to Atlanta, presumably to meet her for the first and last time. And so when I met her, that had a lot of emotional impact, which led me to therapy here on campus. And shout out Jessica O'Fray in the wellness. She actually changed my life, because through that therapy, I was like, wow, I really love therapy. I really love mental health. I really love like the psychology behind like behaviors. And so as I was like going through my own self discovery and figuring out my own self-efficacy, I was like, you know what, like I really want to help other foster adopted youth in trying to overcome their own trauma and succeeding past that. Hence why I wanted to go and be a grad student here at Central for our counseling degree, so that I can help other foster adopted youth overcome their own traumas.
Oh, wow. That's very inspiring. That's very good. And what are you currently working with, and what is your role there? What do you do?
So I currently work at Sun Scholars Inc., a nonprofit organization. I help other foster adopted youth between the ages of 18 to 24 graduate college and also find careers. I've had students who now are the directors, CEOs of their own AI companies. I've had other students who were like single mothers who really pushed through and graduated with all A's, after their first semester. I have been very privileged to be in this position, and now especially, when I first started, I had a lot of freshmen. So now all my freshmen are about to graduate.
Yeah.
Angel being one of them. So this is now our fourth year, three and a half years. I started off as a very young professional at I think 21, 22.
Wow.
And just being able to help other foster youth, some that have been older than me, to prevent them from going homeless or to keep them in college or with their funding. It's a hard gig at times. But I love it, and I wouldn't change it for the world, and no amount of money could make me leave my job. I think moments like this is what I look for.
When you find that moment that give you the happiness and the balance in the money and the happiness, that's when you quickly win.
Fulfillment is priceless. Right?
Exactly. That's totally when you win and say, okay, this is where I want to be. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great. And in what ways do you think counseling helping address challenges in Latino born communication? I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Do you mind if I read?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. It's this one.
In what ways do you see counseling helping address challenges in the Latino and broader community? Okay, so when it comes to counseling and Latinos in the broader community, I know from books I've spoken about, there's how can I put this? There's approaches that are not accurate when it comes to viewing a Latino family and when it comes to therapizing for them. There are a lot of inaccurate statements. And also you have to acknowledge the multiculturalistic approaches as a lot of families, especially in the Hispanic community, they might have other holistic approaches other than therapy. Yeah. And so that can be a drawback that prevents other Latino Hispanic students to even seek therapy because of how it's seen.
Yeah.
And when we look at it like that, it's like we're already pre-assuming that they won't be interested in it.
Yeah.
And so I think that can get in the way of Latino right students getting the necessary access. However, when I think about what helps, to be able to engage them with opportunities that they find are healing for them. So I might be a little culturally not best in this area, but things that are important to them, like having them talk about holidays, family events, right? And opening up aspects for that has been also a privilege, and that I've been able to really try to trailblaze for them, and while I'm not a counselor yet, I do always encourage my Hispanic, Latino, or Latinx community, sorry for
don't worry,
to seek other engagements, resources that also resemble themselves as Latinx, Hispanic community. Yes.
And are there specific issues or cases that you feel specifically passionate about your work on?
Yes, actually, I'm doing a research methods essay project right now, because with a lot of our students, I'm trying to find the difference between students who have already had really traumatic experiences in therapy, and then also, are they refusing those services because of their past trauma, or is their trauma preventing them from engaging with therapy? So the simplest way I can put it is I've had students who really needed therapy, but because they already had experiences when they were younger, like as a kid, that prevented them from doing so.
Yeah.
Now when they're older, I want to know, are there ways that I can re-engage them? Yeah. Or will I be re-traumatizing them? And then what are the results from that and whatnot? So I'm trying to figure out ways to open their minds towards that without infringing so much on their beliefs or whatnot.
Yeah, it's kind of hard, but it's very interesting how the way that they can open her mind and say okay, I can try it. Maybe I'm not the best or the good in this, but I can try
it.
Exactly.
Yes. And trying to track the progress from those that benefited from it and those that maybe did not benefit from it, and then trying to find the gaps between that, what works, what doesn't work, and like just writing all information from that.
No, that's great. That's excellent. And what advice will you give to the student who wants to continue their interest in communication, social justice, or counseling?
I would say stay in the fight. I think and it goes with any profession, especially when I look towards that community. It's just like a lot of times, we are given, if anybody were to look at our origin or backgrounds, a lot of the times, nobody would give us an excuse for giving up. They'd be like, wow, you've gone through all this stuff, like, you have the right to say, like, life is tough. And, like, life is going to hit you in the face hard. It's going to knock you out sometimes, right? But I think if you stay in the ring and if you stay getting up before that 10 count, right? Just stay in the ring, because you are going to take hits, right? It's not about how hard you can hit. It's like how you take the hits, right?
Exactly.
And what you do after that. And I think if you can keep learning and keep progressing and keep growing and figuring out who you are, that way you can help others. I think that's great. And then I also say, like, what helped me and what fulfilled me in a lot of ways was the things that I wasn't able to attain in life, or the gaps that I wasn't able to have, the holes in life that I wasn't able to have. I try to fill in those spots in society. Like, whatever I wasn't able to have is what I provide now for others, and that's what I found fulfilling. So I would probably advise my other students, like, whatever you're missing, I truly think that is what you were supposed to give.
Yeah.
And that's how you receive, what was missing. So yeah.
It's kind of hard, but that's true.
It's hard, but nobody said it was going to be easy, right? You got to choose your hard.
That's
right?
true.
You either run away or you run through.
Exactly. And sometimes when you do that, it's like, wow, why I do that? Just yeah. When you feel you're in the place that is too much for you, and when you're done, it's like, okay, all this happened, but right now I feel what I am right now.
Right? You can either regret your decision or reflect on your decision.
It's the best decision to keep going and finish and see where you go, where you see yourself.
Of course.
And what do you see yourself application your students in the future?
Can you say it one more time?
Yeah, how do you see yourself applicating your students in the future?
In the future? Well, again, this is like my year and a half now in grad school, and although I can't use the theories that I see just yet because I'm not licensed, that would be bad, I do see how it correlates, and I see the approaches and how, like, maybe in the future I would be able to use like some things like I don't know, like open chair technique, like something, right, where you have an empty chair and you basically tell that person to pretend, whoever's in that empty chair, like how you want to talk to them, right? And I can see how that could help some of my students who are afraid to speak up.
Yeah.
So now I'm providing them a space to, like, speak up. You're not really speaking to that person, but you're speaking to
exactly. And when you do that, you feel very distressful and helpful.
Yeah. True. So like, this is like an example. Obviously, I can't use that with students, but I can see how in the future that would apply and what that would.
You find very interesting thing when you are in that thing and say like, okay, I can use this in the future and see it, or when you figure out like, oh, that maybe worked for me too.
And also, like, understanding. Like, I think one of my favorite things that I've learned is like ego defense mechanisms. Not ego as in like, oh, ego, but really how our behaviors translate with the information that we get from like trauma or experiences.
That's
right?
True, yeah.
Because whatever we see or how it impacts us is then going to translate to how we act, right? And so just learning the different ways our brain compartmentalizes those feelings and kind of determines how we act, I am now understanding my students like better.
Yeah.
So if they're complaining a lot, right? Oh, this person, like, they're lazy, they're but they just told me that they didn't do any homework. I'm like, oh, you're actually projecting.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, like you're actually lazy. You're the, but I don't say that, obviously.
Of course.
I'm very like understanding and be like, oh, okay, like let me listen, let me validate those feelings.
Yeah.
How can we go
How we can work
forward?
with that? Yeah. Oh, well, that's great. I really enjoyed interviewing you. Thank you so much
Thank you for interviewing me.
And that's all. Thank
Okay,
you so much.
awesome. Thank you, Angel. Wait.
Well, it was nice.